Hi everyone, welcome to Under the Bodhi Tree with Ariman Huda. Today I'm here with Renuka Ramnath, the CEO and founder of Multiples Private Equity Fund. Hi Renuka, thank you for being here. It is an honor to have you on this show.
Thank you, Hariman.
Yeah. So Renuka, before we begin, can you tell us about Multiples and speak to us about its strategies and the fundamentals on which it is run?
Well, I have always been inspired by entrepreneurship. So I used to lead ICICI Venture before I founded Multiples. And that journey was fantastic to see how entrepreneurs blossomed, how their companies grew, employed more people, created purpose in problem solving for society, and creating wealth. So I was very satisfied with that journey. So I started Multiples again with the same spirit of helping entrepreneurship in India.
Right, that's extremely phenomenal, Renuka. And I think you founded Multiples in 2009, right?
That's right.
And now it has become a $3 billion fund, giving over 30% returns annually, which is phenomenal. And Renuka, you also have had an excellent track record in ICICI, where your $250 million fund gave an unheard 70% returns annually. So, Renuka, how is being a woman, how has it given you an edge over the other males in this male dominated private equity fund industry?
Well, I've never thought of myself as a woman, as a weaker gender, or that I have to really, do something different or extra to work in a male-dominated industry. I would say that I come with a very nurturing mindset. That's my natural disposition. So I work with my entrepreneurs in a very nurturing way to build these companies. I'm able to take the good with the not so good, because markets can be nasty sometimes, So things will not, always go as per your expectation. So how to manage the enterprises, how to manage the entrepreneur, how to keep the morale high in a downtime, how to rework your strategies if you have done something wrong. These are all things that go into making of a valuable company. And these things come, I would say, a bit naturally to me, and that has helped in producing better returns.
Right. So, Ranuka, that's actually very inspiring. And I see you as a visionary woman. And speaking of visionaries, you've worked with people like KV Kamath and Vagul in ICICI. So, Ranuka, how have these personalities influenced you? And what is your vision of Multiples?
No, fabulous question, Aryaman. All of these leaders, Mr. Vagul, Mr. Kamath, Nishika Sharma, Kalpana, so many people have had profound impact in shaping my career. First, from Mr. Vagul, one learned how to set a very long-term vision for the company. Mr. Vagul's horizons used to be like 20 years, 30 years, thinking of what the landscape would be, and therefore how you will operate and win. Mr. Kamath taught us how to have, very clear strategy, huge focus on results, very high on result orientation, very high on speed, very high on agility, innovation, technology, and all of that. So, working with him taught us that, business has to be done in a rhythm.
Right.
And to excel on all, kind of metrics. From my other mentors with whom I work very, very closely, like Shikha, Kalpana, it's all about, how do you think strategically about your business? How do you build good teams? And, being in front of clients and winning deals was something natural to me. But solution finding came from my experience with Kalpana, strategic thinking and team building came from Shikha. So I've absorbed a lot from many, many mentors, and I really feel blessed to have spent 23 years in ICICI working with fabulous leaders.
Right. And Renuka, how do you manage to invest in these very risky funds and take such risky calls? How do you manage to do that and still get like 30% returns consistently? I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. So, risk is a very important dimension, but only one dimension. I would say my brain overweighs the opportunity. my brain overweighs the capability of the team I am backing, the size of the market. How will we go and skim that market, in the said portfolio company? And from a risk perspective, I look at what all can go wrong and prepare my companies to combat those situations if those risks were to play out.
Right.
Rather than get very nervous about it or pushed back by it, I use all the risk analysis to be prepared.
Right.
But I remain always excited about the opportunity.
Oh, that's very inspiring and insightful, Renuka. Now, being a youth, I'm very concerned about the environment.
Yeah.
So, what has Multiples done with its investee companies to ensure that, there's environmental growth or sustainability and more sustainable practices?
No, ESG is at the core of everything we do. I must confess, when we started thinking about ESG at the time we founded Multiples, we really thought, oh, our investors want it and let us do this.
Yeah.
But very, very quickly, in 2-3 years time frame, we said, we are not going to do this because our investors want it, because we are going to do this because this is the right thing to do. And if you do this, not only will you be a socially responsible investor, you will actually make more returns, right? Because you have no business to ruin the environment.
Absolutely.
Or increase the inequality in society. In any case, if you have bad governance, you're going to have no company at all, right? It's just a matter of time. You're sitting on a decaying company.
Right.
So now ESG has become front and center for us, and we embrace. Internally, we have a phrase called equity, empowerment, and enablement.
Okay.
So we want to be bringing equity to all stakeholders in everything that we do. We want to back businesses that enable many more millions to build a more inclusive society. We also have very good initiatives in terms of building gender diversity in our organization, so that our companies are able to attract talent from a much wider pool of talent and not eliminate 50% of the population, because they are also very talented people. And again, as I mentioned, if the quality of governance is not 24 carat, you're not going to be able to attract capital, you're not going to be able to attract good talent and retain them. So that's table stakes, right? To be, building a good company. So we are, this principles of responsible investing, whether it is the US standards or the UK standards, we follow all of them. We take the best of all of them, because we have, one, investors from around the globe, and two, we want Multiples to be known as a fund that returns top quartile, and they are also the best in terms of delivering the a responsible investing code of conduct.
Right. So that's phenomenal, Renuka. And on that note, I think it is also important to tell you that this show is mainly for the youngsters out there, the Gen Zs and the millennials, as they call us, college students, high school students. So, Renuka, on that note, could you tell us some stories from your high school years which could inspire the youth?
Well, I was the only girl child in my engineering class. When I signed up for textile engineering, I thought I was choosing something which was closer to women. And it turned out that it was the most male-dominated industry, and I had to work with the machines. I had no other woman in the class, and the boys used to be, would love to rag me being the only girl in the class. And there was also this little bit of notion that I will take the degree, get married, and do nothing. So they would also call me occasionally a wasted seat in the college. And all of this made up my conviction that much stronger, that, I will show all of you that I deserved the seat and I contributed to society at least as much as all of you have done. Later, after 25 years, when we met as an entire class, I reminded the boys in my class that now let us have the same conversation and see where we come out. So I would say that, every challenge is a great opportunity to increase your conviction, double down on your confidence, and emerge stronger and say that, hey, if I've come out of this particular situation a winner, then I can do almost anything. So that's what I would like to say. Equally, I will say that, enjoying every day of your college life, becoming a more rounded person and not just being academically oriented, making great friendships is also a very, very good thing to do.
Right. So that is extremely inspirational, Renuka, and very insightful how you overcame, the discrimination and stood right above the odds. So now, for the last question, Renuka, could you give one word of advice to the youth out there and what they should aspire to be?
So with the advent of and so much integration of technology into our lives, there are two things that I can clearly see that have changed. One is the scope for innovation in business models, thinking about new businesses is definitely a very, very big possibility. Unlike what our economy used to be 20 years back, where you had very, very few professions to choose from. Today, the opportunity in front of you, both from the size of the economy, the fact that there is more capital available, and the fact that technology allows you to think about very innovative business models is a fact. The second is, again, because of technology, we are able to build a more inclusive society. We are able to construct micro financial products, micro insurance products, micro fashion products, micro media products, and build a much more inclusive, society. So all I would say is that, unshackle your thinking, think more holistically about our society. Don't think just me, myself, how much money I can make. Keep a very long-term, purposeful vision for yourself. Spend time in understanding who you are as a person and pursue vocation that suits you personally. Not because you want to make a lot of money or you want to imitate someone else, because each person is very unique in the strengths that they have and what gives them the core motivation to go out and do something. So please invest in that time and don't be restless. I mean, one of the things even I'm seeing for myself, right? If an app doesn't open quickly or if the video is a bit longer than what I would like, I have no patience to watch it. That's a very, very bad thing. So, invest in whatever activity brings a little bit calmness, patience, ability to engage with people, show empathy, and become a very fine human being as you become a very successful professional. Both will have to go hand in hand.
Right. Thank you, Renuka, so much for your views. So now, before we end the interview, I just have a small round of personal questions of this or that.
Okay.
So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Happy endings or sad endings?
Happy endings.
Smartest person in the world or richest person in the world?
The smartest person in the world.
Ambition or comfort?
Ambition.
Growth or security?
Growth.
Intense pain for 10 minutes or dull pain for 1 day?
Intense pain for 10 minutes.
Western clothes or Indian clothes?
Indian clothes.
Thank you, Renuka. It was a wonderful interview and it was a pleasure interviewing you.
Wish you all the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love this. Yeah.